Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds, by nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
I'm Ted.
And today we have a GM 911 from Matt, and basically he wants to know how to insert an NPC into a small party without it becoming a DM player.
If you want to submit us a GM 911, you can do so at nerdarchy.com. And in the forums, there's a GM 911 section, or you can send us an email to nerdarchy@gmail.com.
So he's playing this family game. After the first session, his I don't know, if older brother had left the game.
He said his brother left the game because the story wasn't big enough, didn't understand that it was going to develop over time.
And now he's got a smaller party, which we don't really know how small that party is.
Right.
You know, if that's 1 player or 2 players or whatever.
Right.
So I am adamantly against inserting NPCs into the party. I hate it.
I think it makes too much work because, well, what are they going to do during combat? You know, do you have someone who's going to be standing around that the DM is going to have to just control all the time? Do you give that over to a player? It still requires you as an extra role-playing source. I find it's too much extra work on the group as a whole. I would much rather just tone things down or power the players up to be able to handle something.
Yeah, instead of using 4 work shoes too.
Right.
Like, it's not really that big a deal. They're just going to fight weaker monsters longer. And you can also introduce other, different kinds of games, especially depending on what size the party is.
Mm-hmm.
You could do more exploration. You could do more social interaction. If it's only 2 players, you could definitely. There's plenty of novels and books and stuff and media out there where it's a duo. Like read some Batman and Robin. This can be done. You don't need an NPC. If you feel like you're putting them in there for healing or something, I would look for an alternative.
A magic item that tends to stem the balance. Okay, well, a cleric gets 3 first level healing spells. Okay, well, what if you give them an item that provides that?
Right, or a parrot that heals them 3 times a day. It learned 1 spell. It uses it when it wants to, not when you need it.
Look, you need energy. My wounds are fine. Heal.
Yeah, so you could definitely work around these problems, like whatever you think that gap is. And the other thing is, I feel like you're gonna just tell different stories. Like if you don't have a rogue or someone that use thieves tools in the party, they're probably not gonna look to be breaking into a lot of stuff and high security. Stuff.
When the rogue has left the party, you take, you lessen the amount of traps. You take out the secret stuff, and you take the whole. I have to do the sneaky open lock stuff out of the dungeon.
Or you not necessarily take it out, but you just understand that they're going to have to find other methods. Maybe that it pushes the character to go, oh, I'm going to buy some vials of acid, or for eating through locks, right. or the barbarian's my axe is great and all, but what, I think a maul would be way better for opening these doors. Or he starts carrying a portable battering ram with him or something. But there's other solutions that they'll come up with that'll force the players to be more creative. It'll force you to be more creative as the DM. You might have to change the type of stories you're telling. But, overall, that's okay. And in my opinion, it's way better than inserting the NPC into the party, where you are going to run the risk of having the DM player character and stealing the spotlight from the players. Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. What happens when the NPC happens to roll a couple of good things, and he's stealing the show, and he's getting the quote unquote glory, and now you're going to have to celebrate this NPC as opposed to celebrating the PC for the
or even just tense situations come up in the game, and then you think you're doing the right thing by helping the players and having that NPC step it up a little bit and save a player from dying or something, where you should have just let them die. It's a game. We'll roll up a new character. We love making characters. It's the best part of the game. So don't worry about it. Like I feel like this whole like it's too hard. Like Conan always ends up with like a sidekick or something, and in the books and the novels or whatever. It's it's fine as long as you have 2 players. In my opinion, you can run a decent game. Even if you have 1 player, you can run a decent game.
Solo games are difficult, but with the right DM and the right player, it can be pretty manageable.
I think it's just about changing the story and the narrative you're running.
Once you get to 2, I fully believe that things can be done. You just have to be careful. You have to make sure that you're challenging them enough without over challenging them, because the second that you start pushing on that hard and fatal encounters, they're going down.
Well, maybe, but like those numbers are all relative to the XP budget is relative to the numbers in the group. So
right.
I don't think it's as big a deal. And again, so what? They go down. Like it becomes part of the story. Down doesn't have to be dead. It could
That's
be.
True. They could be kidnapped or become prisoners or whatever have you.
Yeah, or just defeated. Whatever you want to do, or they could get eaten. Then it's over. But then we get to make up new characters. It's so great. But yeah, don't worry about it. Just play the game, have fun. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. How do you handle it? Like, how often do you put NPCs in the party? Unless there's a story reason for it, and that story should end relatively soon.
You can head over to Facebook and check out some funny memes.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.